Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Part 123. It was not till the third day that he ventured to go out. There was something in the clear pine-scented air of that winter morning that seemed to bring him back his joyousness and his ardor for life. But it was not merely the physical conditions of environment that had caused the change. His own nature had revolted against the excess of anguish that had sought to maim and mar the perfection of its calm. With subtle and finely wrought temperaments, it is always so. Their strong passions must either bruise or bend. They either slay the man or themselves die. Shallow sorrows and shallow loves live on. The loves and sorrows that are great are destroyed by their own plenitude. Besides, he had convinced himself that he had been the victim of a terror-stricken imagination, and looked back now on his fears with something of pity and not a little of contempt. After breakfast he walked with the Duchess for an hour in the garden, and then drove across the park to join the shooting party. The crisp frost lay like salt upon the grass. The sky was an inverted cup of blue metal. A thin film of ice bordered the flat, reed-grown lake. At the corner of the pine wood he caught sight of Sir Geoffrey Clouston, the Duchess's brother, jerking two spent cartridges out of his gun. He jumped from the cart, and having told the groom to take the mare home, made his way towards his guests through the withered bracken and rough undergrowth. "Have you had good sport, Geoffrey?" he asked. "Not very good, Dorian. I think most of the birds have gone to the open." "I dare say it will be better after lunch when we get to new ground." Dorian strolled along by his side. The keen, aromatic air, the brown and red lights that gleamed in the wood, the hoarse cries of the beaters ringing out from time to time, and the sharp snaps of the guns that followed, fascinated him and filled him with a sense of delightful freedom. He was dominated by carelessness of happiness, by the high indifference of joy. Suddenly, from a lumpy tussock of old grass, some 20 yards in front of them, with black tipped ears erect and long hind limbs throwing it forward, started a hare. It bolted for a thicket of alders. Sir Geoffrey put his gun to his shoulder, but there was something in the animal's grace of movement that strangely charmed Dorian Gray, and he cried out once, "Don't shoot it, Geoffrey. Let it live." "What nonsense, Dorian!" laughed his companion, and as the hare bounded into the thicket he fired. There were two cries heard: the cry of a hare in pain, which is dreadful; the cry of a man in agony, which is worse. "Good heavens, I have hit a Bitter, exclaimed Sir Geoffrey. What an ass the man was to get in front of the guns! Stop shooting there, he called out at the top of his voice. A man is hurt. The head keeper came running up with a stick in his hand.